Hvem det her?
Han er glad at litt. Hei,
Det kjære. Hva det kall?
Hva det så?
En tenable horse.
I'll be Mary. My full name is Mary Patricia. My maiden name was Graham. I'm married to John Gibson. Yes.
And how? Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Judic. Yes, I was born in Inverness.
Right.
Yeah, October 7th, 1941.
Great.
Yes, my mother went down to the custom in those days was to go down and stay before the baby was born.
Right.
Yeah, my father was working on the section in Little Brador at the time, and he couldn't get home, so my mother went down a week before, and she stayed with the Doyles.
Okay.
That would be Lloyd Doyle's parents.
Right.
And they're my godparents.
Okay.
As a result. And then I can't remember whether she came back on the Judic Flyer or not.
Okay.
But we went down on it. So that I can say that I was on the Judic Flyer before I was born.
That's right.
I don't know how many more can say that,
That's
but
right.
yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gracious.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good story.
Yes.
So, I want to ask you now, Chase Swanner the Hackett. Can you tell us some of your genealogy? On
Yes.
your father's side?
Well, on my father's side was Alexander Angus Graham was my father.
Right.
And his father was Angus S. Graham.
Okay.
And Angus S.'s father was Stephen Graham. They called him the old man of Judic because he lived to be 102 years old.
Wow.
And they lived at the old homestead in Judic at the just before you get to the Grames River, on the north side of the Grames River. And they were all step dancers. So I've got 5 generations of step dancing.
On the Grames?
Yes, this is on the Grames side. Old Stephen, Angus S., my father, and me and my boys. A couple of my boys step dance, yes.
Great. Mm-hmm. And on your mother's side?
On my mother's side,
her name was?
My mother was Jessie Ann McKay from Kingsville, and her parents were Mary MacDonald, a carpenter from the rear of Judic, and Angus McKay from down near West Bay area. I'd have to get back into the history book, the Glendale book there. Do you remember French Cove, I think it was called, near to St. Peter's. And when, of course, on the other side, Grandma danced a little bit when she had time, but she had 10 children.
Right.
And the Aunt Katie, my grandmother's sister, Aunt Katie, Johnny Randall's wife, she was a good step dancer in that side. You know, she was a good step dancer. Of course, her son danced, and Archie. Yeah. And
so the whole McKay family, they're all gone, except for Mary.
Mary's in the home, in the manor, she's in Port Hawkesbury Nursing Home, yeah. She's 98 years old.
Yes.
She's the last surviving. Yes. Yeah. But the Angus McKay played the fiddle, and one of the two older boys, or maybe the two of them, John A. and Dan, they died very young in their 30s. One of them, maybe two of them played, and Peter played, and Alec Francis, of course. Yes. Yeah. And the rest of...
And Jimmy was known for his storytelling.
Yeah, Uncle Jimmy McKay. Yeah.
And all great Gaelic speakers.
Yes. Well, when my mother started school and her brothers and sisters, they didn't speak English. No. That's why Jimmy, I think, hated school so much, because he had to learn English.
Yes.
And he loved Gaelic. And he's a great supporter of the Gaelic language.
Oh, yes.
Spoke it and wrote, and he's been interviewed and written about and whatnot.
And what's the Gaelic on the father's side?
Yes. Yeah, Gaelic speaking. Well, my mother and father spoke Gaelic.
So you heard it?
Well, I heard it. Well, when I started school, it wasn't popular to learn Gaelic at that time. So, but at home, I heard it, I can understand it.
Yes.
But to put a sentence together, I should really take Gaelic lessons so I can put a sentence together,
It's all familiar to
Yes, it's familiar. And but we lived at McKay's. My father was working in Dernis, and we all moved over to McKay's. My mother and we heard a lot of music.
I bet you did.
We heard lots of music sessions, and we heard Sandy Boyd. We heard Dan R. composing tunes at the table. Yes, composing. He'd write down and then he'd play the tune, and Sandy was playing from the time he got up in the morning until my father would come home, and he'd leave in the morning, and Sandy Boyd was playing the pipes, and then he'd come home in the evening, and he was playing the pipes still. I don't know if he played all day or not, but anyway, yes, we heard. I went to sleep many's the night, Saturday night, to the sound of Teresa and Marie and Alec Francis and, big Kaylee going on downstairs. Oh, yes.
Great memories.
Great music. Yeah. Yes.
Did they have a piano or an organ?
Yeah, piano. Yes. Yeah. I mean, maybe before that they had an organ early on. I'm not sure, but I don't remember the organ. I know the piano was there, still there. Yeah.
That's good. So, do any of your brothers and sisters speak Gaelic at all?
Yes, my brother Danny does.
Yes.
Danny Green.
Right.
Yeah. And the rest of us just can say, well, I guess I'd say a little bit. I don't know if the others understand as much as I do, but I know I understand all of it, but I find it hard to understand the words to songs.
Yes.
Yeah. Gaelic songs, I should say, yeah. But I love the Gaelic and love the culture,
And Danny's a good singer too.
Yes, he sings, yeah.
And composer.
Yeah. And of course, Glenn is my nephew. And
right. Another fiddler there. Great fiddler. He played in Glendale yesterday.
Yes, it was very good, yes. Yeah. Yes, my father and I went as far as Broadcove when I was a little girl to dance in this concert down there.
Oh, yes.
At that time, it was Willie Fraser and his daughter Maureen. They were dancing too. And I remember one night being there, and we were backstage, and an old man got up on the stage, and he was just feeling pretty good, and he was stepping her off and my father, being the devil he was always telling stories, and us kids, we weren't sure to believe, does that sound right, So anyway, Daddy says to me, he says, you see that fellow out there? And I said, he says, well, this is the first time he ever had shoes on. He's from Egypt. He's from Egypt, he said. And I said, oh my God, thinking overseas, Yeah. I didn't know where Egypt was in Cape Breton, but anyway. But he was stepping her off. Yeah.
Wow. So Julie has a great reputation for step dancing, and often heard the expression "Julie on the floor." Can you do you know the background on that saying? Julie on the floor.
Well, I think that there was a fellow on the stage, and he wasn't getting off or something like that. Or, it was associated with Judy on the floor, who put him off a little bit of the getting in brawls a bit.
Daredevil.
Yeah. Yes, I'm getting so forgetful. I read all this stuff in one ear and out the other. Yeah.
So how old were you when you started step dancing, do you think?
Me? I think I was about 6 or maybe 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who would you be dancing to? Who was the fiddler you?
Well, Buddy was playing then. Yeah, mostly Buddy. And then I taught step dancing for a while when I came home from Ontario. I had an awful lot of kids in the class, a lot of kids. I think every kid in Judy went there. But you could tell the ones with the music in them.
Yes.
Yeah, you could tell the ones that had the music in them and how they pick the steps up, and
Yeah.
a lot of them would get the steps just great. More mechanical thing, but they didn't have the timing to the music.
Ah.
Yeah, but anyway, they then later on I had a group of 4 girls that were different ones that did a Scotch for, yeah, the Judic Scotch for, and they were good step dancers too. Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite step dancer yourself? When you look back,
Oh.
who did you admire the most? For
Oh
step
yeah.
dance?
Well, in my day, it was. Oh, there were so many. You know, I like Willie Fraser. Yeah, yeah.
Very neat.
Yeah, very, very close to the floor. Yeah, and there were older ones that my father used to speak of, like Harvey Beaton's uncles. They were really good, and himself.
Alec Huey.
Oh, Alec Huey MacDonald.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a legend. But Alec Huey's sister, Johnny Neal the Islands. Is that how you know who I mean, from Nobo? His sister.
Johnny Neal the Island. Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny. Well, Alec Huey's sister married to him, the Islands, I know. But she has sisters who all dance, Madeline and Bestie McDonnell's wife, and she danced last year at Marble, one of Joyce Cayley's. She just got up and danced, and I couldn't get over it.
Oh, good.
And I saw 4 or 5 of them at Glencoe.
Is that Red Teresa?
Red Teresa, I'm thinking of.
Red
Yes.
Teresa,
Yeah.
She's very good.
Yeah. But Red Teresa's sister,
Mm-hmm.
she's Alec Huey's sister too. She was a dandy dancer.
They were related to what we term Maggie Duncan Peter from Glencoe.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, well she was their aunt.
Yes, and
Yes.
she was from Hillsdale.
Yes, yes.
So-
Catherine from Hillsdale.
She was a
Yeah.
very great dancer.
Was she
Really-
herself?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Realized that, but the sister and brother were married to the sister and brother.
Yeah.
My Aunt Cassie, my father's aunt, she's my grandaunt. She was married to Huey C. McCackern in New Waterford, and their daughter Anne Graychuck, she danced.
Yes.
And then there was Huey C.'s sister Maggie, married to Duncan Peter. Duncan Peter's sister was Jessie Campbell was my grandmother.
Oh,
My father's mother was Duncan Peter's sister.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that.
yes.
That's so good. Another good
And then there's
connection.
bagpipes and fiddling there too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Duncan Peter playing the
Yeah,
fiddle. And,
yes, yeah. Oh, I love to go to Glencoe.
Yeah.
Yes, love to go to Uncle Duncan's.
Yes. Yeah. But there was dancers around Julie too. Was that Thomas McDonnell?
Oh, Thomas danced, yes,
Well
yes.
known.
Yeah.
So were you self-taught dancing, or did anyone teach you?
No, this is why it was so hard when somebody said to teach it. Wondered how I'd go about it.
Yeah.
But no, I
You just
picked it up.
watched
You
others and
watch.
picked it up.
Yeah, you pick up steps. Yeah, make your own.
And you're going to have a good ear for the music.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
you gotta love music. Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So you went to a lot of dances, I'm sure. And
Well,
today?
yes, I started wanting to go around age 14. I don't think it was, at that time it was hard to get too far away from home.
Uh-huh.
But we used to go to the hall in Judic. But I particularly remember on a Friday there'd be a dance in Craignish. And I'd start early in the morning, wanting my parents to go, because I wouldn't be able to go otherwise.
Right.
And of course they'd be tired on a Friday. They'd be tired, and so if I couldn't get them to agree to go, I'd go across the brook to Romy's.
Oh,
And
yes.
Katie was there, Jessie's sister Katie,
Okay.
and she'd get them convinced to go.
Oh.
So, yeah, many's the time we went, and we'd go up, and Engie John McMaster was in the door. He was collecting for the dance, and he'd go up with Buddy. Buddy was playing. And, four couples to a set.
Yeah.
But I learned to dance the set with my father.
Yeah.
He'd take me to dance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
And who would be playing there?
Buddy usually played, and yeah.
Did Winston Fitzgerald ever play there? Were you ever?
I don't remember if he ever played in Craignish, but I certainly wanted to go down to Glenville.
Uh-huh.
And when I started to work in the bank in Port Hood, just after I finished school, well, then I was pretty well on my own, and we'd go down to, another girl and myself would go down to Glenville.
Yes.
I think they were on Wednesday nights.
And he played there?
Winston played there. Oh, it's great. You know, first, there weren't too many fellas you'd know, and then all of a sudden the horse races were over in Inverness, and the guys would show up at the dance. Yeah.
After the race.
Yeah, I know Holly Cameron was a regular at the dances in Glenville. Yeah, yeah. Oh yes, he was good, Winston. And my cousin Francie used to come over from North Sydney. She'd be my first cousin, Frances Gillis, Daddy's daughter, Daddy's sister's daughter. And I remember one time. Well, I think we just about wore out that long playing record of Winston,
yes,
or Joe McLean, maybe it was one of them, in the living room. She wanted to learn enough steps so that she could dance in the set.
Yes.
And we spent all day before the dance getting organized so that she could get to know a few steps for the square set.
Ready.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
It was funny. Yeah, but yeah, then
we all had those record players.
Yes.
To play the 33 RPM.
Yes. Yeah, well, we had that one particular record, and we just about wore it out. Those particular tunes that were good on it, you know.
The 5 McDonald Fiddlers.
Yeah.
It's another LP we had.
Yes. I'll tell you a funny one about 4 couples. We're at a wedding in the hall, the old hall in Judic here, and I forget whose wedding it was, but my father says, we'll have dance a set. So, sure, we went up this set and stand there, and 4 couples, and the music starts. I don't know if the music had started yet, but I couldn't find my father.
Oh.
And I noticed there was more people came in the set to make it more than 4 couples.
Oh.
And he was down at the other end of the hall. He wasn't going to dance at all. He wouldn't dance with anything but 4 couples in the set. Yeah. But he used to call some of the sets now Tom Jones. Playing the fiddler out, you'll never get through the set.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? I said to Ian Cameron one time, I said, you know, you're not going to get back unless you get prompters back.
Yeah.
Prompters. Once the prompters are gone, there's nobody organizing the set.
No,
yeah.
We don't have them anymore.
No. Joe Tech is not around anymore. Yeah, Robert Gillis, too.
Yes, he
Mary
is.
Flora's husband prompted sets, and Alan Skipper McDonald. Yeah, he was a prompter. Yeah. But,
it was important to them in those days.
Oh, yes. Well, when Daddy started, Daddy would walk anywhere to go to a dance. He used to go over to his Aunt Mary's in, what's the place between Glencoe and Brook Village? Mull River. He used to go over to his Aunt Mary's McNeil in Mull River to make hay. And of course he was close to the dances then in Glencoe and Brook Village. And he always went to Judic, of course. And he told that when they started out first, you know, in the early days, you'd go to a dance and you'd pay 10 cents to have your spot in a set. But it wouldn't be the same girl, I don't think, but you'd have that spot on the floor all night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you'd
That's
just give your 10 cents and you'd be, And then when he was courting my mum, she used to come over to Buddy's. Buddy's Lane is just across from here, where the old house was. Well, she used to come over there with Kathleen McMaster, Buddy's sister. And my father would walk from Judic, from the home of Judic South, just about Judic South, Graham's River, down here, all the way up the lane here. It sounds like a long walk, but and then get my mother. They'd go to the dance. They'd dance all night. Then he'd walk her back up here, and then he'd walk home again. No, he loved the dance sets. Yeah, he loved dance. For a while, I taught the square set too to some the kids.
I was going to mention there's a video.
Yes.
A very good video online at the Beaton Institute website of a square set danced on a stage outside in Zurich.
Yeah.
I think it was 1986.
Yeah.
You were in the set.
Yeah.
And one of the Ellen boys.
Yeah.
Lorne Cameron from Malvo, Greg Smith.
Yes.
I
think
John
that was
McMillan.
Oh.
And Joe Tech was prompting.
Yes.
And Kenneth Joseph McDonald and Willie Kennedy are playing the fiddle. It's a great video.
That's an oldie, because we did an 8-10 reel on the stage back there.
That's it.
Is that the 8-10 reel?
Yeah.
Yeah, John sent that to Scotland. It's in the archives over there somewhere, I think. Yeah.
Well, it's online now at the Beaton Institute. And my uncle, Duncan Francis, also was on it. And I think he made it prompted for a set.
Yeah.
And he played the fiddle a little bit in between
the sets.
Oh,
isn't that nice?
It's just really nice.
Great. Yeah.
And the dancing was just superb. Everybody was stepping. Everybody was step dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it go on and on? It wasn't a square set, it was the 8-10 reel.
Well,
because
yes,
it goes
but
on
there
and
was
on.
different forms of
the
set being danced to show people the different forms.
Yeah.
We're going to ask you now if you'd like to give us a sample of your step dance.
Well, my bra can aren't the best today.
Talking about dances, you have a story you want to share about Neely's Hall?
Yes, I forgot to tell you about Neely's was such a popular spot when we were young, and
where was it exactly?
It was right down almost at the Captain's Bridge, just before you get to the Captain's Bridge on the left-hand side. The big White House was up on the opposite it.
Going to Port Hood.
Going to Port Hood, yes, Harbourview. And of course, Neely's house was right there, near it.
Yeah.
So anyway, it would be so crowded. Remember, John Campbell played for the dances, and Father Angus Morris used to play for a few sets. But anyway, what I wanted to tell you was about the potbelly stove.
Yes.
It was in there. And if you didn't want to dance with a set with a certain guy, you'd see him coming and you'd walk. I never did it myself, but you'd walk around the stove. My sister, she spent an awful lot of a night walking around the stove to avoid a certain person. It was just so funny. Yeah. But those were good dances too.
Ritual.
Yes, but those were really good dances there too.
You worked in insurance.
Yes. Well, first, no, not all my life. I finished school in Mabu Convent. I finished there. I started in Port Hood Bank as the secretary to the manager there at Port Hood, and I guess I was 17. I turned 18 in the fall. I started in September, I think. And then, I worked in the Royal Bank. I worked in Port Hood and then Port Hawkesbury and Halifax and Dartmouth for 10 years altogether. And then I worked for, when I got transferred to London, Ontario, I worked up there a night shift in the Bank of Montreal. And when I moved home, I worked at the Bank of Montreal in Port Hawkesbury to relieve Betty Ann Cameron. And then this job came up at A. Monroe Insurance. And I worked there for 35 years in Port Hawkesbury office. Yeah. So, I was an insurance broker. Yeah. And Al Corrin was quite a character. My boss was quite the character. Yeah. Old style man. Yeah.
He was from Waikawa. Right?
Yes, Waikawa. Yes. So the branch is still there in Port Hawkesbury. Yeah.
So now, you got involved with the Judith Historical Society.
Oh, the Judith Historical Society,
and that's how you became involved with this beautiful gallery here in Judith.
Yes.
Storytellers Gallery. So could you give us a little history about the Historical Society?
Well, actually, the building itself was a company house for the miners in the Company Road in Port Hood. And Matt Minglewood's grandfather. Okay. And he brought it up here and he ran a store on the opposite side of the road, a grocery store. And then years later, Jack McDougall and I think maybe Buddy's father, McMaster, John Duncan, they had it. And then finally Jack on his own on this side of the road.
So it was known as Jack's store.
Jack's store, yeah. So it was in a good locality, for the location for the train. The Judith Flyer came down to the station, which was just below here, for freight and whatnot and whatever you wanted to get.
So it was a
general store. Yeah. I remember one time in the 70s, I couldn't find a pair of boots. One of my boys was going on a field trip over to Scottsville. Couldn't find a pair of boots for him, in a hurry. Yeah. And I came down to Jack's here, and Jack had all kinds of boots upstairs. Oh. So I got a pair of boots from there. Oh. Anyway, the store, it was various. The building was used for a meat market and a games room and a few other things. And then it was vacant, and we wanted a place to start our archives or little historical. And in 1996, we're now a heritage property. We got a little plaque up there, but we're a heritage property since 1996, and we won an heritage award for the place as well. Yeah.
Cool.
So yes, it's interesting.
And it was moved on to a new foundation.
Yes.
It was 2006.
Yes, it was too close to the highway, so they had to move it back, and they put a new foundation on it.
And that provided some parking space.
Yes, there's a good lot of parking space in front. Yeah. So
the original group that formed the Judith Historical Society, do you remember the members that started?
Oh, yes. Well, there was some of our carpenters are up there. Huey Van Wachen and Donnelly McClellan and Vincent Graham and Huey McIsaac and two Huey McIsaacs. Huey Gillis McIsaac and Sally Rankin and Rachel McDonald and myself, I was involved, and John Donald Cameron, yes, John Donald became president later, and there was quite a few. Yeah.
So you do some good work here, and we're going to go on a little tour later, but
I forgot to mention Sadie Portier and Henry.
Oh, yes.
They were, Sadie was our storyteller.
Yes.
Yes, and she was very Gaelic.
And her daughter Rita.
And Rita did
a key role.
Yeah. Oh yes, she did a lot of work. Well, she did the grant for the Windows on the Past.
Yes.
Yeah. to the past, I guess. And and people donated pictures and started off like that, and
grew.
yes,
Yeah.
it grew from there. Yeah, and we have our little Kayleys.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a few activities. Yes,
every 2 weeks.
every second week we
Yeah.
have. Yeah,
Very good.
yes.
And it's always a nice turnout and
Yeah, usually very
nice
good.
tea
Yes.
and
Yeah,
mingling after the
Yes,
Kaylee.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's good. I'm looking forward to the next one.
yes.
On
July.
July 22nd.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. We have a replica of the Judy Flyer here on the ceiling.
Yes. We'll
Yeah.
have a look at that when I go
Yes.
around too. You can
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. We have a picture of Sadie's parents here, Austin and the wife, and Jessie was her name. And we have some old wedding pictures and
Yes.
yeah, and some of the histories of the different peoples that are from the area, Beatons and Cannons.
Lots of books and registers.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got lots. You can look up your ancestors.
And
Yes.
scrapbooks. And
Yes, yes, lots of stuff.
Very valuable.
We have stories and obituaries, and we have Feemy McCachran's poems, some of them.
Right.
Feemy was from St. Anne Road. Yeah.
And there's a no Hanley.
Yeah, oh,
display.
Jessie O'Hanley's display, her artwork, yes.
We'll
Yeah.
have a look at that.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you before we move on. You've been to Scotland a few times.
Well, just once.
Just once?
Yeah,
Okay.
My son Seamus was born in Scotland.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you met your husband there, no?
No, he was in Canada.
He was in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember you going to Scotland one time. I
Yeah.
remember hearing that.
Yeah, no, I never got back. John went over. Of course, I didn't go with him then. Seamus went with him.
Yes.
But he was crippled then from his motorcycle accident, 2001.
Yeah.
But Seamus went, and he went to Edinburgh to get his PhD. So Seamus went with him.
So your husband is a very good writer and researcher himself.
Yes, he just has a new book out on step
Yeah.
dancing,
Oh, great.
history of step dancing.
What's the name of it?
Oh,
No?
I don't know. What did he call it, Mike? Step dancing, history of step dancing. It's online anyway.
Oh, no.
We have one of his books here.
Yes.
He has this one here, Back of the Hill.
Can you hold that in front of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the third book, Back of the
Back
Hill.
of the Hill.
This is reminiscence when he went back, how things changed because he was raised in Glenfinnan.
Yeah.
And he wrote about every little rock and everything that was, yeah.
That's it.
And
It's
then
original,
I don't have a copy of his two first ones, the bagpipe ones.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, he's quite the expert in
Yeah,
the bagpipes.
research, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you get to see the place in Scotland? where
No,
your
when I was
ancestors
there,
came
I
from?
didn't go to the islands when I was there.
No.
I was in Edinburgh. Yeah.
So where did your people come from? Which islands?
Oh, the was it Strathglass, Michael? Do you know? Easter Ross. That's where the Grahames are from,
Okay.
and of course the McDonalds on the other side. They're from. Can I get the book out here? The McKays are from Mortar, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know all this stuff, but I just forget it.
Uh-huh.
Ken Tail, Murdoch McKay was my ancestor on that side. Yeah,
Kintail.
yeah.
Okay.
So
So we're all connected
Yeah.
to Scotland and
Yeah.
Ireland.
yeah,
Yeah.
where was it, Duncan Francis?
Our people came from
Yeah,
South Uist.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would have been the same as McDonald's, the
Yes,
carpenters,
and the Isle of Airs.
grandmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But my father's people, some of them came from Loch Harbour too.
yeah,
Yeah. And McDonald.
yeah. No, I didn't go there, but I'd love to go. But John doesn't really have that much desire to travel that much on account of his condition.
Yes.
But he sure spends a lot of time writing.
Yes.
Yeah. There are only so many Gaelic speakers in Judic. I don't know how many are left now. Mary Flora is a Gaelic speaker.
Yes.
And I know yourself, but you live in Port Hawkesbury. There's Father Allen, our priest, is a Gaelic speaker, but he's not from Judic originally. And we have A.J. McDougall was, I don't know, I think he was, I mentioned, what's his name, John Hector. Does he speak Gaelic? John Hector McGuinness. He's in the seniors. He probably was brought up on Gaelic.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother's sister was his mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Mary Jessie Beaton is definitely a Gaelic speaker too.
Yes, Mary Jessie.
Yeah. And of course, Katie Archie, who's living in Port Hastings.
Yeah, she was, yeah. But,
and Florence Graham,
yes, she passed away.
She had beautiful Gaelic.
Yes, Mary, her sister's Gaelic too.
Yeah.
They never lost their Gaelic.
No.
She lived in Montreal for years, that Mary.
Yeah.
She never lost the language. It's changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things change.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask you what future you see for Gaelic language and culture in the years to come.
Well, I'm hoping they're reviving it now at the Gaelic lessons, and and I'm hoping that it will, because it'll be a shame to lose that. Yeah. If you lose the language, it goes with everything else. Yeah.
It's going to affect.
Yeah, the culture. Yeah. But I don't.
Would you say there's more opportunities now than there was when we were younger?
Yes, of course. Yeah, and to travel, whatnot. But I don't know if the Gaelic, Jeffrey's a great promoter, and yourself, you're great promoters of the language. And Jeff, like anybody that speaks it, like Jeffrey's son now, he's learning it. Yeah. And I know a few bad words, doing something around the house.
Yeah.
Come out with a bad word like "yes the grass" or "yes or something like that, and you never think that the kids were listening,
No.
But then I was in Ontario and I was with my oldest son, and he came out with some Gaelic saying, and I said, Where did you hear that? Oh, you used to say it all the time, Mom. So you never know.
You don't even notice it.
Yeah. But no, I find that I don't know. There's too many Gaelic fiddlers left, are there? Alec Francis was a Gaelic fiddler. One's coming up. Well, the ones coming up, they're interested, I think, in the Gaelic, some of them. Well, I know Mary Elizabeth Buddy's her daughter, she's interested in. Now that they're going to school in Mabo from here, they're intermingling with, and they're teaching Gaelic down there, right? Yeah. I saw a very nice thing on TV. Lewis McKinnon, he had young ones in Halifax that were doing milling frolic, and they were singing Gaelic songs, and it was really uplifting to see so many young people. Yeah, because probably I was saying in Halifax, there's a lot of Cape Bretoners and older generation Cape Bretoners, that would have spoken Gaelic, and this would be probably their grandchildren, Yeah. Oh, it would be nice. I'm hoping.
Do you have any advice for learners, whether it's Gaelic language or step dancing or anything? What would you suggest for people that are interested?
Yeah, well, just keep going, keep dancing. And ones that, I don't know how many younger people are in the classes. Should have been going myself. But although there's a lot of people my age and a little bit younger that are interested in the language, learning, yeah. But you know, go to Mabo, and sometimes you hear a Gaelic conversation,
Yes.
and it's nice to hear that.
It is. Yeah.
Go in there, and one of the ranking boys was in there, and he was just talking away in Gaelic to somebody, and it was so nice. Yeah. Well, since Jimmy is gone, and
Your uncle.
like Francis is gone, they always spoke Gaelic to one another. And they'd be in the kitchen, and of course those kids were there listening. But if we had spent any more time, I'm sure I would have been able. Well, what used to happen was Uncle Jimmy would say something in Gaelic, and if you want to say the English word for it, and vice versa, and he'd give us a dime or a quarter, you know. And that was good, because we learned a little bit that way. But we wanted, yeah.
Yes, I remember when I was step dancing, you'd get maybe $1 or $2 if you did a few steps in the kitchen with somebody. But you fellas, there was a picture of you dancing in Glencoe, yourself and the Beaton Girls. Oh, yeah. There was somebody else, little girl there too, I'm not sure who it was. I forget, are you in the dance book or somewhere? I saw it. Maybe at Glencoe days, I'm not sure. Would you like to add anything else before we end the interview? We're going to go on the tour afterwards. Do you have any other thoughts you'd like to share on this before we end? Just, I wish everybody luck with the language and the dancing and the playing. Yes. Yeah. It'll continue and thrive. Yes. Great. Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Gaelic College for participating in this interview today and sharing your knowledge and your talent with everyone. So we really appreciate that. Thank you, Pauline. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I omitted, but that's always the way you think of them afterwards. No, I thought you did very well. I mentioned before, Pauline, that the heritage plaque for 1996, we're a heritage property since 1990, 21 years, really. And then this is the Lord's Prayer in Gaelic there. And that's our heritage prayer there. Okay. And there's a little award for Heritage Award in 2005. This is a sketch of the building done by Michael Gibson. Okay. Yeah. That's your son? Yes, that's my son, Michael. He's right here, Michael? Yes, he's here. He's a step dancer too. Hard to get him going, Michael? But boy, when he gets going, he's good. Yeah, there's some old timers there. That's my mother and father up there, Jessie and Alec Graham. In the center there? Yeah, it's Jessie and Alec Graham. Yeah. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some old timers. Yes. Who's with the fiddle there? Duncan. Oh, that's Duncan MacDonald from Centennial. And next to him? He married a Kinsella woman from. She had connections. She was Gillis from Portwood originally. And she was. And who's next to him, the lady? That's his wife. Oh, that's his wife. Okay. Those were done by. That's the Miracle of Centennial. If you ever read that book. Oh, okay. Yeah. And there's the church when it was being built. Oh, yes. And some old pictures here of school days. Really. Okay. Class photos. Yeah. There's some of the women from Centennial. So there's Austin and Jessie McDonnell. Yeah. And that's the parents that's the parents of Sadie, our story. Sadie Poirier. There's the old factory there. There's Sadie down there. Oh, yes. Their daughter, Sadie. Yeah. Just give you a general. Okay. Here's John Allen and John Dowell when they were starting out. Okay. Yeah. This is a project that
Rita did, and it's a lot of stuff.
It's
there.
called Windows.
Windows to the Past. You want to take that
Yeah.
picture of that
Yes.
Windows there.
Okay, great.
And there's some other. Just want to see if there's any here that. Oh, you might want to see the McDonald from Glencoe. That might be interesting for you.
Yes.
There's McDonald from Glencoe. Those two.
Right.
General.
And who are these two
Oh, this is
people sitting here?
This is Sarah and Listen. They're waiting for the train.
Oh, the Judy Choir.
Yeah, they're waiting for the train. They've been waiting for a little while.
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They will be waiting for a while too.
That's pretty nifty. Nice to hear Buddy McMaster playing in the background. Uh-huh.
I think it's Natalie.
Oh, is it Natalie? Okay.
Find one without a
Well, that's it. Very good. It's coming to the station now.